share with you and share screen for a second.
Perfect.
And
Yes,
welcome.
thank you for being here, Victoria. So we'll have you share your story in a minute. Rob's going to share the screen, and then I'm going to open it up to some people who've been going through it just to share how it's helped them. So thank you for being here.
So you look at this, right? And what you're going to notice is one of the big things that, again, is a challenge in the real estate industry. We as an industry look at results way more than we look at activities. We look at how many buyers are you working with? How many sellers are you working with? How many people did you add to your database? All of this stuff. Everybody's been asked that. The challenge with that is if we're struggling, if we're a new agent, if we've hit a plateau, if we're trying to figure out if something works, how many times are you going to say zero before your mindset sort of takes a dive, right? Because it affects that, right? So we ask a different question that is completely controllable by you as an agent. And that's, how many conversations did you have a day? How many calls did you attempt? How many note cards did you send? How many of the activities that lead to the results, i.e. lead indicators, did you do in a given day that will eventually, if you do them consistently over time with the activities that build the habits, lead to the result? And so when you ask that, you can have a win every day when you ask the questions about this, right? Every single day, even if it's a 1, you won that day. Congratulations, right? So you look at this, and when you do your goals, it's going to give you those things, but it's also going to give you specifics. How many hours do you need to spend to hit that goal? What are your points totals that you need to hit that goal? And it's going to give them to you by week, by month, by year, all of that stuff. But then when you add the disc test and the profile to it, you have a game process, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure, that you can get a little bit competitive with the activities, and it's all weighted for you. Then you've got the courses that are here as well. And as an example, there are over 50 courses that are in this, and they're broken down by personality profile. So somebody can go in, find the things that they like, but not only does it have whatever it is that they're going to do for lead generation, but every piece of support material is in a Canva template that all they do is click the template, put their name and number on it, whatever it is that they're going to change on it. And by the way, we even have somebody that'll do that for them if they want to as well. But it's all done. There's never any, you don't have to go to Fiverr, you don't have to go find it, you don't have to recreate it, you don't have to do any of that stuff, right? It's all there and done. So it's just a turnkey process that gives you the specifics, the support materials, all the training, all in one place that anybody can access. Whew, I haven't talked fast in a while.
In addition, just really quickly, there are also live coaching sessions with really, really great coaches, right?
Oh yes. So 8 times a week. So noon at Monday through Thursday, we have that. And then also at 4 o'clock, Monday through Thursday, we have another live session. All of them are recorded. All of them are posted. All of them are categorized again by the disc profile and what they are, so that you can go in and watch them. If you miss them, you can go back and look and pick up the ones, because we have had, Carrie, we've had you on talking about mindset, right? Which is fantastic. A lot of people don't do that. We don't talk about that mindset process. We've had Elizabeth Riley teaching her piece of it, which is how she does over $37 million a year just and singularly with referrals.
Yeah.
And so it was interesting when she did hers. Here's the advantage too, because you can go find Elizabeth's presentation somewhere else.
Yeah.
We took all of her materials and we converted them all into Canva templates for everybody that's in the program.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear that? So people are sharing their stuff and they are putting it in here, so you can just basically make it your own, copy it, rip off and duplicate, like we say. So Elizabeth Riley has built her business as a top agent in the Austin market just by developing relationships. She does some interesting kind of pop by, some cards. It's the consistency. And it's like, I think oftentimes we have great ideas, we just don't actually execute on them. And if we can take away the thinking part and just getting into the doing part, it helps a ton.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
So lots of actual live coaching sessions, tons of different options. You don't have to go to 8 of them. I wouldn't recommend that because you need to be doing. It's there for you so that you can pick and choose the ones each week that benefit you so that you can engage in something, because odds are that you'll be able to make one of those work, if not a couple. And that's the key. Or if there's a topic that you really, really want to hear about, you can go back and watch it if it didn't work for you. If there's a coach you really wanted to learn from or that resonates with you, that is available to you. And then, so you put in the number that you want to make, and then according to your disc profile, according to what you say you want to make, it's going to help you as the agent understand the activities that are probably going to work best for you, but also how many of those activities you actually have to do in order to make the money you want to make. Correct?
Yes, you got it. So over the years, we've looked at each of those activities and we've given them a weighted value. And so it's got base activities. And by the way, we have a minimum time frame that we evaluate an activity before we'll add it to the point system. And it's three years. There's nothing on there that is anything less than 3 years. Because if you think about it, if you have something that we just put on there and somebody says, okay, do this, right? All of a sudden, they may have some immediate success, but then 6 months later, all of a sudden it died. So there's not a consistent process in there. Or it may be completely opposite. Maybe it took 6 months for it to start, but you look at the evaluation of the process and what the points totals are, and that goes for years, right? I mean, it's just like referrals. I mean, perfect example, right? Referrals, yes, they're important, but are they immediate business? Maybe, maybe not. But if you look at it over time, you can see if you do 50 points, then it's going to lead, well, on a consistent basis, it's going to lead to X amount of results. And so we're going to give you those numbers so that you know. And by the way, Carrie, every single time somebody has followed the point system for 12 months, they have met or exceeded their goal. Every time, 100% of the time that somebody has followed and hit their DPA number at least 4 days a week for 12 months, they have met or exceeded their goal, period.
You guys, it is a numbers game to a certain degree, but it's like we're trying to figure out what is the numbers game we're even playing. And that's the problem. We don't know. So we're playing a game that we don't actually know all the rules to. So speaking of DPA, Victoria, who was on, and she's having really bad service. She's on her phone and she wasn't someplace with good service. She sent me a message because she has a huge testimony, and you can probably add to this, Rob, because you spent time with her, but out of her own words, she sent me a message, and here's what it says. Business events, sponsorship with buyer seller seminars for the employees and employers. So she's going into businesses and she is doing buyer and seller seminars for the employees by the employer allowing them, like a benefit, door knocking with a drop by, and all follow-ups with handwritten notes and cards. From June 1 until now, $100,000 in GCI. From June 1 until now. Okay, this is September 13th, just so that you guys can remember this. 4 new listings, 3 million with 3% commission, an additional 90K in GCI. A door knock referral also led to a lead to a developer wanting to do 300 to 400 units in the next 3 to 4 years. She spends 3 to 4 hours a day on her DPA only, Monday through Thursday. DPA, what is DPA, Rob?
Dollar productive activity.
She plugged it in. She knew what to do. Since June, she's been doing it 4 days a week, 3 to 4 hours a day, only on those activities. Okay, that's a huge testimony. Now, Victoria had some experience in real estate before. She was not brand new. I would like to share personally, if you guys want to scroll down an EXP family tree, I did last month on a Wednesday, just type my name in and you'll see all the different live streams. On a Wednesday, I interviewed a gentleman by the name of Michael PRIVATE, who's down in North Carolina, brand new agent. You guys, just got his license, has never sold a home, was a traveling nurse, no experience in sales. He wanted a plan because there was no room for failing because he had to replace his income to support his family, his wife and his daughter. He got into this program, and as of today, 3 to 4 months later, he's got multiple buyers, up 7 listings in his pipeline. You guys, he hasn't even sold a house yet. And all he's focusing on is open houses and door knocking. And he is having and he does the handwritten notes after. He is having tremendous success, but he does 200 doors a week because he knows his number and he hasn't stopped doing it. The key is consistency. So brand new agent, somebody with experience, both finding success. It really isn't like rocket science. It's just like, what are we going to be able to plug into to get ourselves to do the things that we need to do? I mean, that's really the question. Is there anybody else on the call right now that's in the program, has been in the program, that wants to share? Because I'm not sure, but there could be. Do you see anybody, Rob?
I'm looking, trying to see. Jackson's been around for a little bit. Let me share this one while people are doing that, because
I don't know if Sheena has already been in. Has Sheena been in? I know Sheena's going to come in this next session and train.
She's coming in the next session to train.
Hey, Sheena.
Wait a minute, go ahead. Who said that?
Hey,
Hey,
I'm
Sheena.
driving. How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
I'm just here, hanging out, listening.
Awesome. We're happy you are.
I'm plugging all of the agents on my team into the Rockstar program. By the way, it's good stuff.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have people that you've brought into your world, you feel a sense of responsibility for them, you should show them this. This is not something that they have to pay thousands of dollars for. It's very economical, and it will help them and it will leverage you. If you have people you care about in the industry that aren't with you, it doesn't matter. Show them the way. And if this is something that you have felt in yourself that you need to up your game, then this might be for you. Okay, Rob, what are you going to show us?
All right, let me show you this. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
All right, so this is a text message that I got at. Sam was a brand new college graduate. He sent me this message. I'm about to put my next property under contract, put me at 10 million on the year in volume. Okay. So my question that I ask is, how long had he been in real estate? Guys, this is month number 10.
Wow.
Month number 10. All right, wait a minute, it gets better. Hold on. This was a few months later. Just wanted to give you another update. Almost at 3.5 million closed pending in the first month and 13 days of 2022. This is a 23-year-old that just graduated from college, never had a sales job, never had anything. He's at 3.5 million in 1 month and 13 days in his second year in the business. And looking to be past 4 million by this time next week. And by the way, he went on and closed over 29 million in year number 2.
And he's been a Rockstar agent since the beginning?
Yeah, since his very first day.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Now, here's what's interesting, because you brought this up a second ago. Following a consistent activity, right? We again have a tendency to throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and see what sticks. The challenge with that is we don't do it long enough. We don't practice it enough to get good at it. So all of a sudden it doesn't work in a week and we go to find something else. Does anybody sound familiar with that? Okay. I mean, yeah, I got some people laughing on there, right? So here's the challenge. If we took 2 pieces of lead generation, by the way, he did that with 1. What you just saw, 1 form of lead generation.
Yes.
1 form. By the way, that was the mega open house program that he did that with. Okay?
So that's how I started. So Rob, I wish I would have had this program. I didn't. I failed forward. It took me a lot longer than it would have if I would have had a plan, but I didn't do anything but one thing when I started in real estate. By the way, I happen to be 23 too. So he and I have some things in common. Now, I don't think I did 20 million, although the average sell price back then was like $140,000.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But I did do like 10 million, or 12 million my second year. And I was the #1 agent within year 2 of my office. And I was 24 years old and looked like I was probably 12. So I did cut my hair, dyed it dark to look the part. This is a whole nother story. But you guys, I didn't have any shiny object. I didn't have much money to spend. and I didn't know about anything else really to do. And I didn't want to call because it's not my personality. So I was like, what am I going to do? I guess I'm going to do open houses. And the fact that I didn't have a lot of the things that we have right now as distraction, I really feel like we are a little like, it was better back then because I didn't have like 70,000 YouTube videos to watch. I didn't have all these people telling me I could make $1 bazillion doing ABC. I had nothing. I was like, what do people do? Oh, maybe I'll do some open houses. I can afford that. It's just my time. But what ended up happening is because it was my only focus, it actually really, really worked. And I became really good at it. That's what we've lost, Rob.
That's see, there's the athlete's mentality too, right? You look at an athlete, you look at anybody that is truly a high level athlete. For you guys that are out there that have played high level high school sports, collegiate sports, I know there's some pros, by the way, too. I mean, we just had Keller Williams, who is WNBA pro, on doing a class with us, and it's interesting to look at the parallels of successful real estates and successful athletes at that level. They will take their one sport, right? Unless your name is Bo Jackson or Deion Sanders, you're not going to go and hit a home run and do an NFL touchdown in the same day. It's just not, I mean, Michael Jordan didn't have that kind of success, right? When he went from the NBA to pro baseball. So you look at that piece of it, but they break down what they're doing on a consistent basis to get better on a daily basis. And that brings up this piece too, because we talk about this. If agents would add 5 things into their daily routine, that's it, 5 things, they would double their business in 60 to 90 days. You want to know what those things are, by the way? All right, you ready? First one. This is the fun one that nobody wants to do because they get tired. Go walk around the block or do something healthy for 30 minutes. Okay, because you got to have your mind. And by the way, do it in the morning because that gets you prepped for the day. Number 2. Take 30 minutes a day and practice your craft. Find a partner, practice your scripts, practice your presentations, practice how to have somebody do a buyer's agency agreement, a listing agreement, all of those pieces, not just lead conversion scripts. Because we all do that, and you go to any of these, so many of these script and dialogue sessions, and it's all lead conversion scripts. It's not about the other thing when they say, yeah, I'll meet with you, and all of a sudden the agent goes, what do I do now? Right? So you do this process, and if you would practice for 30 minutes a day and practice your craft, by the end of 30 days, do you think that you would be better at what you're doing? Well, yeah, of course, right? Here's the other piece. One of the biggest fears with agents, especially if they're new or struggling, how many homes have you sold? How long have you been doing real estate?
Yeah.
Well, if you take 30 minutes a day and you increase your knowledge level, what I mean by that is absorption rates. Know what they are, not just for the area, but for the neighborhoods that you're going to work with. Know what the sales volumes are, know what neighborhoods are specific, go tour open houses, broker opens, things like that to know what's there. All of a sudden your knowledge increases so that if somebody asks you a question, you can answer it. You can have a legitimate conversation with a buyer or seller anytime on anything if you increase your knowledge for 30 minutes a day. Fourth thing, 2 to 3 real estate conversations a day. You realize that if every one of you had 2 to 3 real estate conversations 5 days a week, that's it, you'd make $200,000 a year. That's it. I know. Now you're thinking, wait a minute. Huh?
I got one more.
Yeah, go, Sheena.
Make sure you drink strong coffee.
Yeah. Yes. You know, it's my coffee maker has that one thing that says I forget what it is. It's enhanced brewing or something like that. And it does strong coffee. And I get the dark roast anyway. So, you know, look, we're at 2:30 at Eastern time, and I started coffee at 5 o'clock this morning, and I'm wired. So anyway, it works. So, but then, so there you go. Do what we call DPA activities on a daily basis, right? Hit those numbers. Number 5, and this is a fun one too, review your day at the end of the day.
Yes.
Figure out what you did, how you did it, where you can get better. Okay. Talk about those things, figure it out. And by the way, don't be afraid to fail. We have a tendency, oh God. So how many people do you know that have changed the name failure? It's not a failure, it's a learning opportunity. It's a challenge. Guys, if we continue to say failure is bad, do you think it's helping us or hurting us to try things new? Ooh, yeah, think about that, right? Because we're scared of failure if we keep trying to change the name of what failure is. Failure, there's nothing wrong with failure. Man, how many free throws did Michael Jordan miss? Right? How many times did Babe Ruth strike out?
Yep.
How many times did Tom Brady not win the Super Bowl? Right? I mean, you look at that and you're thinking about the greatest of all time and whatever that they're thinking about doing. They failed more than they succeeded. But because they weren't afraid of failure and because they took the time to master their craft, they're the greatest in the world at what they do.
Yeah, because again, it boils it down a little bit to the numbers game. It's the volume. I read something the other day that volume will always be more, help you more than luck. And because of course, but volume turns into luck. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, if you do it enough, of course, something's going to stick, something's going to work, but you have to be able to track it. So what I like about this program is tracking, because you focus on the activities, which is what you can control. And the results will eventually come if you focus on the activities, you do it consistently, and you know the number of them that you're supposed to do. And then you can reflect using the system at the end of the day, because you actually have something to reflect on. Most of us are just flying around every day and we don't even know what we actually do. How do we even know if we're being consistent? Do we even know if we had 2 to 3 conversations about real estate? Because by the end of the day, you're like, what the heck did I even do? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. So the system is really important. You know, I think about this because I see some people on the call that are coaches, that are mentors, utilizing this program and getting your mentees or those that you coach or those on your team in this with you can leverage you, so you don't have to create the program, but you can go along with them and then use it and then add in your own accountability. So that's something I'd encourage. Go find other people that just want to up their business in the market that you're in. Who cares what company they're with? Come from a place of contribution, do it alongside of them, get together once a week in person, get some energy going, you know, and it's going to help you in your business too. There is absolutely no way it doesn't help you in your business. By the way, Victoria just kept texting me. She said, when she said, I spend 3 to 4 hours daily on the DPA only Monday through Thursday, she followed that up with, my DPA points are 888 a week, I believe. She has to come up with 888 points a week, which you will see in the system. It tells you what you have to do to hit certain points for a goal of $550,000 GCI. That's what she has. So, you know, she knows her numbers now. I can guarantee you before she started this, she probably did not.
Oh, no, you know, and so many people talk about that. I didn't know what I was doing and what I wasn't doing.
Yeah.
You know, you think we get busy and we don't get, but we miss productive. We miss looking at what we're doing because we get a phone call and all of a sudden an hour and a half later we say, oh, and we never go back to what we were doing.
Yeah.
So we get busy and we think that we're doing something productive, but we're not. So if you look at that piece of it and track it, and